True living Africa. True living Africa.
Hello. Welcome to True Living Africa, your wellness podcast. I'm Uyok Hansen.
And I'm Oyin Talabi.
We are your health and wellness coaches.
coaches.
And we are here to help you live your best life.
Yay! Hello, Africa. Tell me how you're doing.
Ha ha ha. Very funny.
I've been wanting to say that on air.
Okay, guys. Hi, everyone. Please excuse us for today. We've just, we're so excited and so jacked up.
It's a good day to be alive.
Yes, it is.
It is. And it's a good day to be recording.
Yes, it is.
We're
nice
live.
and sunny.
We're live at the Africa Business Radio Studios in Lagos.
Yes, in Lagos,
What's our
Nigeria.
website again?
You can find us and the rest of our podcast recordings on www.africabusinessradio.com and wherever you get your podcast on, iTunes, Castbox, Google Play. We're all there. We're there on all. I should say. And today we're talking about one of my favorite topics, strength training. We are following up with our
series that we're doing, Pillars of Movement.
Yes.
So last time we did flexibility. We've done flexibility 1 and 2. So watch out for that. Listen to that. And then today we're going into strength training. So we're doing part 1 today, and then watch out for the other parts of the installment of this series.
Because you see, we started this movement series, kind of pillars of movement, talking about how movement is so fundamental to everyday living, and just generally wanting to let everyone know what the fundamentals of movement are and those things that you need to look out for to make sure that your fitness is balanced.
Because at the end of the day, we're here to make your wellness journey as practical and as simple for you as possible, so that you can actually design your own fitness program once you follow the pillars of movement. And that's the idea. Just make it as simple and as practical as possible.
Save from being our clients. Yes.
So you see, we're good people.
Yes,
we're
really
good trying
people.
For your ministry.
We're giving you freebies worth thousands of dollars.
But thank you for joining us today.
Yes.
So, strength training.
Straight into it.
Let's dive.
Yes, let's dive. Before we dive and get to the bottom of the clear waters of strength training, I was going to say murky waters. What is, how we like to start our podcast with a what is?
What is?
A definition of everything. And essentially,
let me ask you. So what is strength training?
So I would like to first tell you what the purpose of strength training is. Strength training is when you do a movement or like resistance training that involves the pushing, pulling, or lifting of any or against some form of resistance.
You should see her actually lifting,
yes,
pulling,
and pushing.
and pushing.
Yes. I love that because like whenever I design my strength training programs, I always do a push, pull, lift, right? Because I always make sure that I include a push movement, a pull movement, and a lift movement. And this is really because, like we talk about activities of daily living, those are the
fundamental activities or things that we always have to end up doing. We're either lifting, we're either pushing, or we're either pulling.
Exactly.
And we have to be able to do it in proper order, and alignment.
And so in the most elementary form possible, strength training is really training your muscles to be stronger. Actually training your entire body to be stronger, because it involves strengthening your bones as well as your muscles, your ligaments, your tendons. And so strength training is just that routine that you go through to be able to strengthen your body muscles, parts, to be able, in order to help you live better stronger life. So you want to be able to lift, your, I like to use this dispenser water analogy. Like you want to be able to lift your water, pop it there on the dispenser. You want to be able to lift a box, like those of us who've got box rooms. When you've got like that big box with your Sunday best right at the top.
Your portmanteau.
And maybe that person who normally does it for you is off duty. You want to be able to go up there and bring the box down.
Yeah.
All right. And so including your body weight, any kind of exercise that pushes your muscles outside of their comfort zone and forces them, to rebuild stronger, that is really what strength training is about.
And strength training is very, very, very important to our well-being, because apart from the ability to be able to lift, pull, and push, we lose muscle
as we get older.
So we have to continually keep building it, just maintaining that strength and even pushing further. Remember that your body is a machine, and it's the most intelligent machine ever that actually improves
and adapts
as you take care of it and as you age. Because we've been sold this lie that as we go older, we deteriorate. When you're old, you have to have dementia and stuff like that. But you don't have to. If you take care of yourself properly and maintain all the different pillars of your well-being, you'll find that you will age gracefully. Aging gracefully is not a myth. And strength training is a very, very, very important part of that.
Of aging gracefully.
Yeah. Okay, so
you're 100% correct in terms of not just being able to push, pull, and lift, but being able. The thing about the muscles,
keeping that form.
Yes, keeping that form. The thing about your muscles deteriorating as you age, and is really the use it or lose it principle, isn't it? And this is one of the principles of fitness, where if you don't use a certain muscle in your body, you actually lose. You lose it. That's to say that it begins to atrophy, because your body is sending its calories elsewhere, and it's just getting weaker and weaker. But with strength training, what happens is that as you work those muscles, they get stronger.
Think of a car. Me and my analogies. So think of a car that's been parked. I know I've used it for something else before, but it's been parked there, no use whatsoever. You come back to it a week or a month later, one tire has busted. Exactly. You come back another week, the one side mirror has come off. So that's the same principle of use it or lose it.
Yeah.
And if you're not using it, then it's going to start falling apart.
Right.
And we don't want to fall apart.
And that's why even when you do start your strength training routine, you want to do something that's super balanced. And so not just sort of focus on your mirror muscles, that's the muscles in your upper body like a lot of men do at the gym, and then sort of just not focus on their legs as much.
You have to balance out. Or like some people that say, I want to have 6-pack, and they only work their abs.
Right.
And you can't do that because your back is going to give way.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
You only work one side. So you should always, are we in that section now? But you should always work opposing muscles. So if you're working the front, make sure you work the back.
Yes.
As well. Same thing with even your thighs. If you're working the front of your thighs, you need to work the back of your thighs.
Absolutely.
So that we're balanced.
So that we're balanced. And a lot of women have stronger. Yes, a lot of women have stronger frontal sort of muscles, and their backs are not as strong. And so
only women, not men and women.
Well, mostly women, and so we haven't got like the strong backs like men would naturally have. And so things like workouts like the pull-ups, for instance, tend to be notoriously more difficult for women.
Yeah, I can testify.
Right, but women do need stronger back muscles, and
especially with all the load we carry in front when you're pregnant,
and then even picking up kids and all of that stuff. Yeah,
we definitely need strong backs.
Yeah, and that's one of the benefits of strength training. Like we keep coming back to daily living, because we're all about functional fitness, aren't we? We like to be able to see what this is doing for our everyday life. It's not a myth, it's not a legend, it's not just some airy-fairy concept out there that we're on about. We really want to be able to improve and live our best life, like our mantra says. Yeah,
I remember we mentioned this in the flexibility episodes that exercise was designed because life sort of moved us away, or industrialization, advancement of the human race, whatever it is, moved us away from being able to just move our bodies the way that it was designed to. That's why exercise was designed. So hence, just re-emphasizing what Uyok is saying about why the strength training is important, because it's about daily life activities, that ability to be able to do it. Another thing is the aesthetics of it. So we've talked about keeping form, but keeping the muscle form, it's very, very important, because I mean, hey, if you want to look good in your skinny jeans, then do your strength training. You know, you want to have nice toned thighs in those skinny jeans. You want your bum in the right place, not hanging in one other place. So those are things that you will get, you know, you get toned muscles.
Yes, and there's a sorry to cut you there, but you know, there's a thing that we like to say, especially with women, we don't like to, you know, while men would use the word build muscle, or they use the phrase build muscle, or they use the word bulk. We girls like to say toning up, tightening,
which is good,
sculpting,
because what we're wanting is lean, strong, sculpted muscles.
However, muscle that is not well trained will not look good.
Exactly.
So the same reasons why we as women want the toning, the sculpting, the tightening is really to have that look, right? That nice
the
tight
look is important.
That tight look.
Yes.
But
that
together look. And that look does not come without training your muscles.
You have to work at it. And even on the back of that, so a lot of ladies in particular, you want to lose weight, and everybody heads to Cardioville. So they're walking, they're jogging,
get off the treadmill.
Then apart from that, then they're on the maple syrup diet, you know, on just one crazy diet. And what happens in all of this is that you lose muscle.
Yes, you lose
because everybody's running away from strength training because you don't want to bulk up, but we're not designed to bulk up.
Right. And that is topic for like an entire episode.
That's a series.
Women and lifting. Yeah. We have to do that next. Women and lifting.
We don't bulk up, right?
We're not, I mean by sheer hormonal, how we are designed. We haven't got enough testosterone to bulk up. And when you do see women who look like super ripped and look like bodybuilders, just know that they've worked at it for many years. It doesn't happen by mistake.
Intensely.
Yes. And, and they've done that on purpose.
Yeah.
In addition to that, there are many of that same pool of women who would take steroids or certain kinds of supplements just to make them look that way. Yeah. So if you're not as intentional as they are, you're not going to be looking like that. Just by lifting.
Let me even just use myself as an example.
Dumbbells,
I have squatted, I have lunged, I have leg lifted. I've been doing it for years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just
it looks nice and lean, but that hardness.
Right.
I'm sorry, I still don't have it.
I know, right?
I still don't have it.
Because body fat percentage in women is naturally even higher.
So you see me nice and lean and you think, ooh. But when you touch it, like, how far now?
I know. And I think that's another thing to say while we're at it, that it is hard to grow muscle.
It is.
Muscle is not that easy. It's actually harder to grow muscle than it is to lose fat.
Yep.
So growing muscle takes hard work, dedication, and a lot of intentionality. It pays off eventually. It pays off. But just for people who think that, if I just do that, like that one session where I lift 2 pink dumbbells, no, it's not going to happen.
It doesn't work that way. You have to keep going higher and
there
higher.
Are the exceptional women who are like the mesomorphic types who
already have a higher percentage of muscle.
They then see the results of strength training
quicker.
Faster. Yes.
However, it doesn't mean that they bulk up.
Exactly. They won't bulk up.
So when you're starting, when you're trying to, again, I say lose weight because that's when most people jump on that Cardioville. Mm-hmm. Remember that you need strength training.
Oh yeah.
And if not, you will get really flabby.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're just dieting and doing cardio to lose weight,
hard road.
Or dieting only,
it's a hard
cardio,
road.
Yeah.
And I'll explain the science. So Oyin, I'll explain the science behind that. And it's so frustrating to see, when we, especially, again, as women or even men, just hit the road, and
everybody hits cardio first.
Yes, we do the steady state cardio, and that's because it gives us those very quick wins.
Yeah,
especially for those people who are obsessed with the scale. So, for instance, you want to weigh in. You lose, when you do your cardio, you lose a lot of water in the process, and so you could actually have literally a 1 kg difference between when you get up in the morning and you do your 10K, you come back, and that's really because during like a 1 hour of steady state cardio, you can actually lose about maybe 400-500 calories depending on your intensity and how fast you run. So anything from 300 to 500 calories, right? During a steady state cardio session of about an hour. Now, with strength training, that same hour, maybe you're burning 220, 280 calories. And so, for quick fix people, it's like, oh my goodness, I'm trying to lose weight, but I'm not seeing the results. As a matter of fact, maybe I'm even putting on some weight on the scale. But the thing about strength training, the fundamental difference between strength training and cardio with weight loss is that strength training gives you the afterburn, kind of like HIIT does. So what you're doing is you're not building your metabolically active tissue, which is your muscle.
Yeah.
And muscle requires more to just maintain.
Yeah.
And
so it's burning heat generally.
Yes. So people who grow muscle burn an average of 50 to 80 extra calories a day in their state of rest.
For just having muscle.
So you've done the work, and after you've done the work, during your repair time, your metabolic rate increases because now you need more calories to sort of repair the muscle that's been ripped at the gym. And then just being dormant, your muscle burns more muscle. But with the cardio, all you get at that point is what you've got.
Yeah. At that exercise, once you're done with your exercise, that's it.
Yes. And if you have your little, if you have and the thing with relying only on cardio to lose weight is that by the time you have your carbs, or you can't eat as freely. Your diet has to be stricter.
Yeah, it has to be stricter. And also, when you stop exercising, let's say you have to go out of town for like a week or two, you're going to put that weight back.
Yeah.
That's why people that do only cardio notice, I'm sure, if you're paying attention, you put on that weight very quickly when you stop exercising because for any period of time.
Weight.
Yeah. And unlike when you're doing strength training, so from everything that Uyok just explained, once you're doing strength training, even when you're not exercising, because you've built muscle, it stays off.
And it helps you stay toned, and you can eat a little bit more. You eat better because you can have your protein, you can have your carbs. Metabolically, you're in a better place.
Yeah.
And so the whole hitting cardioville. And we're not dogging cardio because we're going to come back to cardio in another episode.
I just think it's over. What's that word?
Yeah, I think there was that book in the early 90s that brought steady state cardio, and it's sort of stuck. But the truth is that there are more effective ways to do cardio.
Yeah.
Except you're like late in your, let's say your late 60s, 70s, 80s, then you can start talking about steady state cardio if you're just sort of new to exercise.
Yeah.
But younger people don't have to go that route. And really, I think that our bodies were not even really designed to do steady state cardio. I think that our hunter-gatherer ancestors were designed to walk long distances, but not run.
Well, they'll have
distances.
No,
you can sprint when there's, but no, I'm talking about like, are you going to run from here to Jericho? Like you're going to walk that distance, right?
No,
and then if there's danger,
the Kenyans, they run.
No, I get you. That's that one. But I'm just saying that generally, right? I don't think that the human body was necessarily designed to really like to run a really long distance. I think walking a long distance makes sense. Sort of in an evolutionary way, and sprinting when there's danger and just like trying to
The running will not be as often as the walking.
Yeah.
No, it won't. There will be times that you'll run, but it won't. But not like walking. Walking is predominantly.
It's predominantly, and then sprinting or running. Shorter distances.
Yeah.
To get out of danger's way or harm's way.
Yeah.
And that's why I think maybe that, and this is just my theory here, and I think that's why HIIT, or rather interval training, kind of works better than steady state cardio. And you have all the
with HIIT there also you also have your compound movements in there with the cardio, so
everything is sort of working together. And so there are more effective ways to get in your cardiovascular exercise, but
I get mine through Pilates. I don't do any
because you work up a good sweat, don't you? So
but don't worry, we'll give you some tips on how you can get your cardio from strength training at the end of this series.
So stay tuned, guys.
Stay tuned.
And so essentially, strength training benefits. Amazing. It's a matter of life and death, if you ask me.
It is.
Your health improves with the increase in your muscle mass. I can't say it I couldn't say it any better. It's important. So you have that increased muscular endurance. You can carry heavier things for longer. The afterburn we just talked about, especially during repair, and the body continues to burn calories after your workout is over. And another thing that strength training does is that it signals your body to burn a higher percentage of fat for many hours after you've completed the workout. So there's that thing you call I think there's a theory of perturbation. I can't remember quite if that's the word. I think it's perturbation theory, when you shake things up in your muscle cells, your nervous systems, your hormones, and so all that shake up, which some people would interpret as stress. And it really is.
It is stress,
but it's a good kind of stress, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that stress in your body, when the sweat comes out and all of that stuff, your heart rate is up, your face is flushed, your neck is red. That kind of stress is the kind of stress your body needs to improve its performance. It's not the kind of stress that makes you, closer to your grave or anything. So that kind of stress is good.
That's why you stayed in a state of stress for too long. Stress is good, but just don't stay in it for too long. Oh, there was something I wanted to say when you were saying that, and it has flown out.
I know.
Aha! I remember now.
Okay.
So strength training, research actually shows that strength training helps dementia.
Yes, it does.
Can you imagine? Then I was like, I can't remember. You know, right?
That's a good one. Oh my God. Pun so intended.
I know.
Oh my goodness. So strength training helps dementia. I mean, this morning, right, I was saying to myself, so my nephew lost a tooth today. And so I took the tooth, and we're busy talking about the tooth fairy, and I then put the tooth in a safe place. Safe, quote and unquote. And then I couldn't remember where this safe place was.
Well, he wanted his tooth back.
And so he's like, Auntie Yoki, are you sure you've kept the tooth safe for the tooth fairy? And I'm like, OMG, where did I keep? And I thought to myself, well, I train.
This shouldn't be happening.
This shouldn't be happening to me. And I had to retrace my steps, but it was so weird that I stopped to say, why would I forget? Like, I just remember saying to myself, this has to be in a safe place. And that was the last thing I remember. And the rest was smoke. the tooth went up its way. I know. So, lift some more weights. And so, so strength training.
Yeah.
There's another thing about your joint stability.
Yeah. Very important.
Very important.
Yeah. And you get that from strength training. It helps to stabilize the joints and vertebrae and all. So it's very, very, very important.
Yes, it is. It is. Your muscle size grows. That's the part I like the most. And, the blood flow,
the circulation is improved. The response between your nerves and your muscles is also improved when you're doing strength training. Yeah. So it's very key. It's actually very key for both men and women. Women, we can't overemphasize it.
No, I'm going to do an entire episode on women and strength training. And we need to do away with the pink 2 kg dumbbells, kettlebells.
I think that most people tend to use that for walking when they're doing their cardio. They now hold those weights. And you know what? It's just even wrong. You shouldn't be walking with weights in your hands.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that when we're doing cardioville.
Right.
But you shouldn't be walking with weights in your hands. But yeah, those pink dumbbells.
And you know, it's interesting that when you go to the strength room in most gyms, although things have started to change a little bit now, but you then see girls, really using the lowest.
Yeah.
You know, they're afraid of injury, or they don't.
Well, we're supposed to start low. So start low.
Yeah.
But gradually increase. You have to increase. You can't stay at 2 kg for longer than a week.
No.
So if you use it this week, next week you should be moving on to 4 kg and gradually moving. So you're increasing either the weight or how many reps it is that you're doing, but you have to keep, like she said, shocking those muscles.
Right.
If not, you're not going to get the results.
And in fitness, that's called progressive overload, isn't it?
Overload.
So you really want to be exerting you want to be exerting slightly more effort than the last time. So you either want to lift a heavier weight, like Oyin said, or you do one more rep consistently. You have to progress consistently, because your muscles, have to adapt. And when your muscles adapt, and like Oyin likes to say that our bodies are very intelligent. So whatever it is you're doing and you stay on that level for a long time, your body becomes more efficient at doing that movement, and so it then tends to need less calories to do it.
Yeah.
And that's why progressive overload is so important. And so you force your muscles to rebuild stronger to prepare for the next challenge.
Shock it into obedience.
Well, please, not the G.I. Jane kind of shock that I did to myself last week.
And she's still limping
limping. Oh, that was hilarious. Even my sister was like, OMG, why? She just kept saying, why? I said,
why?
And I kept saying, I don't know.
Skinny jeans.
6-pack.
That's why.
Oh my God, that's why. And so you could start with, you would typically want to start with your body weight if you're going into strength training.
I actually prefer body weight exercises to lifting.
A lot of people, a lot of people do just fine with body weights because there's so many variations.
Yeah.
That can still give you progressive overload with body weight. Yeah. Like when you start to do your push-ups, you can do your modified with your knee, different types. You can then go into your straight push-ups, and then you can go into your one-arm push-ups and, all sorts of, variations. You can play with it. Yeah. When you get into a guided strength training program. And if you want to, lift with external weights, we've got the free weights. We've got the cables and the pulleys. We've got all sorts of things.
We have resistance bands that you can stick in your drawer at work and do some exercises even at your desk.
Right. And so I think just so that we don't overrun with the time. So this is it for strength training and the intro to strength training. And just remember that strength is life, and
strength is life.
It really is a matter of woohoo. Let's coin that. Tweet that. That's tweetable.
And if you want to do good in bed,
strength is life.
Yes,
LIFE.
Man and woman, no.
Yes,
strength is life.
Strength is life.
I like that.
Tweet that. So, and if you're going to follow us, you are going to follow us, please, at True Living Africa on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. We're also at Africa Business Radio on Instagram, and again, www.africabusinessradio.com for the previous episodes as well as updates and future episodes, and drop your email in there for the newsletters on the wellness.
We're launching those soon next week actually, so you want to get on our mailing list.
Yes, for the Wellness Wednesdays, all our tips are in there, and hit us up in our DMs if you need a coaching session. Just let us know. Okay,
nice one. So Africa, thank you for letting me know how you're doing. See you guys next week.
Okay.
Bye.